Have you ever wondered if cheating is really about personal failure or if something deeper is pulling the strings?
You cheated, or maybe someone cheated on you. Either way, science says it might not be your fault. That sounds almost impossible to believe, but the research actually points to some surprising reasons why infidelity happens.
Most people hear the word cheating and instantly jump to blame, shame, or guilt. But what if the truth is way more complicated than that?
Exactly. Human behavior is influenced by biology, psychology, and social conditions that often run deeper than pure willpower.
Can you give a quick example of that? Like something that shows it's not just about weak morals.
Sure. One study found that high workplace stress and long hours away from home increase the likelihood of infidelity, not because people stop loving their partners, but because the environment changes their behavior. That's a very different story from simply saying someone is selfish.
So today we're opening the vault on 3 science-backed reasons why cheating might not be as simple as bad choices.
And by the end of this episode, you'll see how understanding the science can give you compassion, clarity, and a better way forward.
So let's dive into reason number 1. Could it be that cheating is wired into our biology?
Evolutionary psychology suggests that humans carry both a drive to form deep pair bonds and a competing drive to seek new partners. Those two systems can clash in powerful ways.
You're saying my brain might literally be torn between staying faithful and chasing novelty?
Exactly. Think of oxytocin as the hormone that helps us bond and build security, while dopamine rewards us for novelty and excitement. Sometimes dopamine wins even when we don't want it to.
So in real life, that could look like someone being perfectly happy at home but still feeling an irresistible pull toward a new crush at work?
Right, and that doesn't always mean they're unhappy in their relationship. It can simply mean their dopamine system lights up at novelty. The danger is when people confuse that chemical rush for something deeper.
That almost makes it sound like caveman DNA is still running the show.
In a way, yes. Research by David Buss and Helen Fisher shows that our ancestors benefited from both loyalty, which kept families stable, and infidelity, which spread genetic material. Those ancient pressures still echo in our behavior today.
So if our brains are still carrying ancient programming, what's one practical way to keep that wiring from sabotaging modern relationships?
A powerful step is to intentionally create novelty with your partner. New experiences, adventures, even changing routines. That feeds dopamine inside the relationship instead of outside it.
But doesn't that feel like giving people a free pass? Like saying, sorry babe, my biology made me do it.
Not at all. The point is explanation, not excuse. Knowing that these instincts exist gives you the awareness to resist them rather than feeling broken or morally defective.
So if someone cheated, it might not be because they're evil, but because their brain chemistry pulled them off track.
Yes, and recognizing that can shift the conversation from shame to strategy. Once you know your wiring, you can make conscious choices to strengthen loyalty and keep temptation in check.
Hey, by the way, for you listening to this video, yes, you behind the screen. If you're enjoying this episode, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss what we dig into our next podcast.
And remember to tap the bell as well. This is very important and we are counting on you.
Okay, back to our topic now. Let's move on to reason number 2. Could it be that cheating is less about who you are and more about the situations you're in?
Absolutely. Studies show that stress, loneliness, and sheer opportunity often play a bigger role than personality. Affairs at work, for example, are surprisingly common because of time spent together and emotional closeness.
So you're saying the office happy hour might actually be one of the riskiest places for relationships?
It can be. Add alcohol, travel, or even late-night texting, and the environment sets the stage for decisions people wouldn't normally make.
That reminds me of something. Why do we underestimate how much environment influences choices? We think willpower is enough.
Great question. Behavioral science shows we overestimate our self-control. Just like people eat more junk food when it's in plain sight, they're more likely to slip into risky behavior when temptation is easy and accessible. Setting boundaries with people or situations is often more effective than relying on willpower alone.
But wait, doesn't stress push some people closer to their partners instead of away?
It can go both ways. For securely attached couples, stress may strengthen bonds, but for others, stress creates a search for escape, and cheating becomes a coping mechanism rather than a conscious plan.
That makes it sound like infidelity sometimes has less to do with wanting someone new and more to do with running from discomfort.
Exactly. Peggy Vaughn and Shirley Glass both found in their research that unmet needs or avoidance of conflict often fuel affairs, not just desire.
So if unmet needs are a big driver, what's a practical way couples can address that before it turns into a disaster?
One powerful tool is regular check-ins, actually asking each other, what's one thing you've been missing lately? It surfaces small frustrations before they grow into reasons to seek comfort elsewhere.
So the situation lights the fuse, but the person still has to strike the match.
Right? And the practical lesson is to recognize your own pressure points. Avoiding high-risk environments and openly addressing stress in your relationship lowers the chances that circumstances take control.
Now let's dig into reason number 3. Could cheating be linked to your psychology and the way you attach to people?
Yes, attachment theory shows that the style you develop in childhood often shapes how you relate in adult relationships. Insecure styles like avoidant or anxious attachment are more strongly associated with infidelity.
So you're telling me that if my parents didn't hug me enough, I might be sliding into someone else's DMs years later?
In a simplified way, yes, anxiously attached people may cheat when they feel rejected and want reassurance, while avoidant people might cheat to keep emotional distance.
That actually makes me wonder, how would someone know their attachment style in the first place?
A good start is taking a validated attachment questionnaire, like the experiences in close relationships scale, and reflecting on how you behave when you feel insecure. If you notice constant fear of abandonment or a tendency to shut down emotionally, that's a clue to your style.
That almost makes cheating sound like a way of managing fear, not just chasing excitement.
Exactly. It's often less about lust and more about filling emotional gaps or avoiding intimacy. People act out their attachment wounds without always realizing it.
But does that mean if you grew up with insecure attachment, you're doomed to cheat?
Not at all. Attachment patterns can be reshaped through self-awareness, therapy, and healthier relationships. Knowing your style gives you the chance to break cycles instead of repeat them.
So what's one small practical step someone could take today to start reshaping those patterns?
One simple but powerful practice is to pause before reacting when you feel insecure in your relationship. Instead of reaching for someone else's attention or shutting down, communicate that fear directly to your partner. It builds trust and slowly rewires the pattern.
So the science is saying our psychology can quietly sabotage us if we don't face it head on.
Yes, and the good news is that once you understand your own patterns, you can choose to build stronger, more secure connections instead of repeating old mistakes.
All right, let's crack open the vault and pull out the big takeaways.
Vault key 1, like biology gave you drives you didn't choose, but awareness lets you take control.
So in practice, that might look like noticing when you're chasing novelty and asking yourself if it's about excitement or avoidance.
Exactly. That pause creates space to make a conscious choice instead of letting old wiring run the show.
Vault key 2. Situations can push good people into bad decisions, so know your pressure points.
Vault key 3. Your attachment style shapes how you love and how you stray, but it's not destiny.
Which means if you discover you've got anxious or avoidant patterns, you're not locked in for life.
Right? Therapy, open communication, and building trust with a partner can all rewire those patterns over time. While
Vault key 4. Cheating doesn't define you, but ignoring the patterns will keep you stuck.
Vault key 5. Self-awareness is the antidote. Know your brain, your triggers, and your story.
So what do you do with all of this? If cheating isn't always about being a bad person, what's the next step?
The next step is remembering that science can explain your behavior, but it doesn't excuse it. You still have the power to choose differently.
So instead of saying, that's just how I am, you can use the research as a roadmap for change.
Exactly. Noticing your triggers, like stress, isolation, or craving novelty, gives you the chance to act intentionally rather than on autopilot.
If you've cheated, this isn't about drowning in shame. It's about seeing the bigger picture and deciding how you want to grow from here.
And if you've been cheated on, it's about recognizing that it wasn't simply about your worth. There are deeper forces at play that don't define you.
That perspective can turn a painful experience into a chance for growth instead of just a scar.
Right? It's the difference between staying stuck in blame and using the insight to build healthier boundaries, communication, and trust moving forward.
At the end of the day, compassion for yourself and accountability for your future are what really matter.
Because when you understand your wiring, your circumstances, and your patterns, you can build relationships that are stronger, healthier, and truly your own.
This has been Tap the Vault, and this is the end of our episode today, but we'll be back soon.
In the meantime, make sure to hit the like button, drop a quick comment, and share the episode with one friend you care about and who can also benefit from it as well. We are counting on you. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.